In Colombia, the Supreme Court opens preliminary investigation of former President Uribe, now for allegedly receiving drug trafficking funds for his 2018 Senate campaign. Our correspondent Enan Tobar with all the details.
De los nexos de algunos narcotraficantes con
Independent press in Colombia had denounced evidence of links between drug traffickers and the right-wing Democratic Center political party. Articles that confirmed the presence of characters, such as the pilot David Niño Cataño, who now appears related to an investigation against former President and Senator Álvaro Uribe when he was running for the Senate in 2018.
El encargado de transportar en aeronaves.
Those in charge of transporting Alvaro Uribe's aircraft were two pilots Samuel David Niño Cataño, who disappeared in Guatemala in December 2019 in a plane crash.
2019 en un accidente aéreo transportando cocaína del cartel de Sinaloa.
Transporting cocaine for the Sinaloa cartel, and Juan Camilo Cadena, who was a pilot sentenced to 10 years for drug trafficking and who was flying an aircraft that was seized with half a ton of cocaine in Providencia on May 25, 2021.
Piloteando una aeronave que fue incautada con media tonelada de cocaína en Providencia el 25 de
These two pilots, one disappeared in Guatemala and the other already convicted, were Alvaro Uribe's official pilots in his Senate campaign.
Fueron los pilotos oficiales de Álvaro Uribe en su campaña al Senado.
En este contexto, se conocía una investigación.
In this context, a preliminary investigation was opened by the Supreme Court of Justice in relation to an alleged donation made by pilot David Niño of approximately $4,800 to Uribe's campaign for his re-election to the Senate in 2018.
Álvaro Uribe es la figura política en Colombia.
The former president is the political figure in Colombia who is closest to drug trafficking. There are 51 inquirings that exist about him. That is to say that when any investigator, any prosecutor, any magistrate, any journalist takes the time range between 1974 and 2025, he realizes that the scandal of the narco pilots that we uncovered in the press is only one inquiry out of a dozen inquirings that Uribe has about drug trafficking, about paramilitarism, and about the drug trafficking.
Que tiene Uribe sobre narcotráfico, sobre paramilitarismo.
Former President Uribe can hardly run away from justice, not only because in several cases people who are part of his entourage have been prosecuted and have been convicted, among them his chief of security.
Han sido judicializados y han sido condenados, entre ellos su jefe de seguridad.
The former director of the Administrative Department of Security, an important delegation of congressmen who have supported him, have been investigated and convicted for paramilitarism.
En sus momentos fueron investigados y condenados por paramilitarismo.
Es la sala de instrucción de la Corte.
It is the court's investigating chamber that ordered this preliminary investigation, which has already been notified to Uribe, after having gone through the National Electoral Council, where a complaint was received warning of possible irregularities in the financing of his campaign. From there, the National Electoral Center referred the case to the prosecutor's office delegated to the High Court, and in October last year, it went to the Supreme Court.
Y lo que hace esta indagación es con el cuerpo.
What this investigation does is that with the body of investigators, which is quite complete,
La tecnología permite indagar el electrónico, comunicación.
and where technology allows to investigate at the electronic level, communications, mobilizations, radars, locomotion sites, places of permanence, all this is allowed by technology.
Todo eso lo permitió la tecnología. Saber si la
It is to know if he received that money and if that person is indeed linked to drug trafficking.
y si esa persona efectivamente estaba vinculada al narcotráfico.
Esta situación jurídica se suma al
This legal situation is in addition to the trial process that the former president is already facing for the crimes of procedural fraud and bribery of witnesses, is a historic event in Colombia.
Hernán Darío Tobar Gaitán, teleSUR, Bogotá, Colombia.